Man, I just got a text message from Steven Spielberg. God, it's so annoying.
Isla Nublar Sheriff's Office.
The pteranodons are flying down Main Street and picking off tourists left and right.
Left and right?
That's correct, in front of Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville.
And how many margaritas have you had?
Only 12.
I wanted to be a Jurassic World trainer since I was a viable embryo. I just didn't know it yet. I remember back in '97, the San Diego incident. I watched it unfold on TV and I thought, that's it. That's the thing I want to be running from. Dropped out of grade school the next day.
At first I thought, well, surely you need some sort of master's degree in paleontology to look after these dinosaurs.
This is the task that the makers of Jurassic Park set themselves.
Come to find out, it's really more about your personality and how good you look on a motorcycle. I still don't know why they held that dance off.
Well, I was just applying for a food service job, and the next thing I know, I'm trying to teach a velociraptor how to say the condiments are under the sign labeled condiments. Raptors aren't as clever as people think.
Yo! I bought a dinosaur on the internet, and we're like, what?
That dinosaur and I are like best friends. We're gonna go to the movies and fly kites and swim around forever and ever.
Jocelyn was great to work with, and no wonder why he became one of Jurassic World's best sharks.
Today, I'm going to be hanging upside down from a line above the Mosasaurus. We're just going to be working together, having lots of fun, and the unthinkable will never happen.
Motherfucker ate Jaws. What happened in Jurassic World was not a singular event. InGen has been abusing living things ever since they chose their name.
Our job was to come up with a name that sounded as racist as possible when you said it out loud. I personally came up with Hong Ki, but they rejected that because they said it was, too privileged.
I've robbed liquor stores, I've murdered 7 innocent people, I've kidnapped children and sold them into slavery, I've produced manipulative documentaries, and the worst thing I ever did was mildly inconvenience those poor monsters.
People think dinosaurs are vicious, and that's just not true. Televised research suggests that they're really friendly purple animals who just want to speak in clownish voices and teach children how to imaginate. There is no record of any dinosaur ever harming a human or shark before they were brought back to life.
So apparently the dumb guy from Parks and Rec is our boss now or something? Really though, we're just biding our time. We plan to mutilate him and feast on his carcass right at the moment when he needs our help the most.
At one point we had an entire thesaurus of slurs for African Americans. A Blacksaurus, if you will.
Motherfucker ate Jaws.
You know, the party line, the media narrative, the irrefutable evidence we were told was that it was the shark's fault.
They said he was asking for it, they said he wanted to be eaten, that he was sending mixed signals, that he shouldn't have eaten that ponytail or that kid's eye.
Human flesh straight is pretty good, but when you add that little extra hint of betrayal, culinary perfection.
But I mean, if you look at the tape, like really look at it, the shark's not doing anything wrong. Or at all.
It's completely immoral what they do. It's not right to have dinosaurs dance in kick lines and play trombones for our amusement. They have clay on their hands.
Motherfucker ate Jaws.
Wasn't even one of Weird Al's better videos.
What about the movie?
There was a movie?
Jurassic World is frightening in the Durrell.
I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power that you're using here. It didn't require
No.
discipline.
No. Motherfucker ate Jaws. I mean, why is this even a debate? Motherfucker ate Jaws. I mean, have I not made it clear enough? Because if you'll examine this chart here, I think you'll find a very strong trend towards motherfucker eating Jaws in this fiscal year. Now compare that to this other chart, and a very strong pattern starts to emerge that is truly undeniable. Now, the point I'm trying to make with all this, bottom line, shut up and take my money. I mean, motherfucker ate Jaws. I mean, moneyfucker ate Jaws. I mean, Shut up and take my money.
American dinosaurs. Men so heroic petrol sports. Over hills and on the plains. God bless your tiny brains. We the people are your dinosaurs.
It is 2:51 p.m. on Thursday, June 11th, 2015, and I am on my way to Universal Studios Hollywood in beautiful Universal City, California to ride a few rides, get a few pickup shots for some jerk with a camera, and go to the AMC City Walk to catch a 7 p.m. screening of Jurassic World. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the park is open.
What are you talking about? It's been open for 19 years.
Yeah, but now it's open on screens! Welcome to One Movie Later, where I compare and contrast my preconceptions and postconceptions of movies in theaters now. Jurassic Park is one of those movies that needs no introduction. You've all seen it a million times. Very few people don't absolutely love it. I was actually very late to the Jurassic party myself. I was 9 years old when the first movie came out, so I was right at that perfect age to really love the hell out of it and see it a million times. And I saw it 0 times when I was a kid. I was kind of a weird kid, and I was not interested in any movies that were not either comedies or animated. And I just wasn't that into dinosaurs either, so I had no reason to see Jurassic Park, although later that year, I know I did see We're Back, a Dinosaur Story in theaters at least twice. I was a weird little kid. The thing that finally prompted me to see Jurassic Park was in 2008, when Riff Trax announced that they'd be doing Jurassic Park with Weird Al. And I was like, okay, Weird Al and Riff Trax together, that's reason enough to finally see this movie, and I loved it. But I never saw the sequels, Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, until just this year, when, prompted by the release of Jurassic World, I decided to rent them both. They're not masterpieces by any stretch. I agree that Lost World is way too preachy, and Jurassic Park 3 doesn't really have a reason to exist. But I found things to like about both of them. In Lost World, the two things that really saved it for me were Pete Postlethwaite and the climax in San Diego. Now, the steps the characters took to get to that climax in San Diego were dumb as dog shit, but once it finally got there, it's like, wow, it's like a Godzilla movie. In fact, there's one shot in Lost World, if you go back and watch it, where Spielberg specifically cuts to Japanese people fleeing from the T-Rex, just to really bang the Godzilla reference firmly into your head. And what saves Jurassic Park 3 for me is A, Sam Neill is back, B, William H. Macy, who I'll watch in just about anything. Also, I truly believe the Velociraptor saying Alan was supposed to be stupid.
Alan. Alan.
It's a dream. It's all happening in a dream.
And now, 14 years after the last movie and 22 years after the first movie, we have Jurassic World. I am actually looking forward to this movie. I'm hoping it'll be really good. I love Jurassic Park. I love Chris Pratt. People have complained that there's too much CGI, which, yeah, that disappoints me a little too, but I'm kind of used to it by this point, and I'm very interested to see exactly what this director will bring to the table. This film is being directed by Colin Trevorrow, whose only previous film was an indie romantic comedy from 2012 called Safety Not Guaranteed, which I also rented to prepare for this, and I thought it was good, but it felt like only the first 2/3 of a good movie. It felt like it ended very abruptly right when things were getting interesting. And also, I'm very excited to see what the park looks like when it's finally open. I know the park's been open in real life, kinda, in Universal Hollywood and Islands of Adventure for almost 2 decades now, but, you know, the great thing about the first movie was that it was a combination of animatronics and CGI. We have animatronics at the real park, so now I want to see what it looks like with, CGI dinosaurs that can move in ways animatronics never could. And also, I'm really excited to finally get back to Island Nublar in this movie, because that, to me, was the single biggest miscalculation of the sequels, is that it took place on some other island. Why not show the dinosaurs building their own ecosystem on the remains of the theme park? That, to me, would have been so much more interesting than, oh yeah, we bred the dinosaurs on a completely different island and then we shipped them over to Nublar. Oh really? Is that why we actually saw a fucking velociraptor hatch on Island Nublar in the first movie? They just wanted to get that second T-Rex in there. I swear to God, that's the only reason. Hammond already said in the first movie, we have a T-Rex. If there had been more than one T-Rex, why wouldn't he have said, we have T-Rexes? And that's the only reason, literally, why they put it on Isla Sorna instead. But Jurassic Park 3 has no excuse. So anyway, I am cautiously optimistic about this movie. I hope it'll be really good. I hope it'll be worthy of the first movie, and I'm seeing it here at Universal. I am in the Curious George parking lot, unfortunately, not the Jurassic parking lot, which would have been perfect. But this park has the Jurassic Park ride, so it'll be fun to ride the real ride and then see the fake park on a screen. Just one general parking, please.
Over here we have a prehistoric gift shop. This is what gift shops looked like millions of years ago. Nothing but dinosaur crap. Amazing.
We are here in the line for the Jurassic Park River Adventure, and joining me in line here is David Gansel, aka Doggins.
Hello. Yes. Last vlog, you got my brother. Now you get me. You get one Gansel brother per vlog.
Yeah, contractually, that's all we can afford.
It's true. Well, we can't stand to be in the same room as each other. So,
I see. So you're like the Sherman brothers.
Exactly.
You put on a false facade of liking each other, but
yeah, we put on
in reality, you hang out among different social circles.
And we torture everybody with prayers for peace.
Twojangosaurus. I'm pretty sure that's the dinosaur that killed Sam Jackson.
Django! I don't know what Chris Pratt's character's name is, but I'm assuming it's Burt Macklin, Raptor Wrangler. And
I played bass for Raptor Wrangler.
Colin Trevorrow, after Safety Not Guaranteed and now Jurassic World, he's just working his way through the Parks and Rec cast. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with Aziz Ansari and
I can't wait to see his Retta vehicle.
I don't expect Jurassic World to necessarily be a great movie. I'm more excited as a theme park nerd than I am as a cinema goer. It's hard for me to see how it's going to be all that different from any other Jurassic narrative where, well, we thought we could handle this, but we were wrong, and now the dinosaurs are after us.
Right.
And I honestly don't know how many more stories than that you can tell, or how many variations on that story you can tell in the Jurassic franchise.
Does the title possibly refer to more than just the name of the theme park? Could this movie possibly be a Rise of the Planet of the Apes type situation where dinosaurs actually break free and start to reclaim the planet for themselves? When dinosaurs ruled the earth again.
That would be a way to do a new Jurassic Park story. That would be a way to shake things up in the Jurassic mythology. I don't know if it would be the best story to tell, but it would be interesting and unexpected.
Well, I know two of the co-writers of this movie also co-wrote Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
If they're the one-trick ponies we expect them to be, then I'm sure you're perfectly fine.
Well, I'm actually Facebook friends with their son. He's a huge Weird Al fan, and I know him from those circles. So
in that case, I am sorry I said that about your parents, because I know you watch everything that all of your Facebook friends do. Hopefully I will be entertained and be able to walk away from it being like, well, that was either good or not good, but I had fun tonight. I don't ask for much.
You'll never be a Channel Awesome reviewer with that attitude. We subsist on hate. I am joined here by
hello and welcome
Todd Blanston here.
Welcome to the Jurassic World vlog. We just saw this thing
And let's talk about it. Do you want to talk about it?
Sure. Let's here. Give me.
No.
Okay, you can have Todd. Here we go.
Yes, thank you. I don't
All
like
right.
being stuffed and dug into his crotch.
Let's.
I'll have you know, people pay top dollar.
Yeah, you ever been to Japan?
Yes.
We have Monster Vlogs. One movie that we cross over with.
I'm Charlie.
I'm Haley.
And we just saw Jurassic World.
Damn right we did. This was a movie very obviously made by huge Jurassic Park fanboys.
Yes.
Who just wanted to cram in everything they loved about the first movie. It's better than Lost World, better than Jurassic Park 3.
It is a huge middle finger to Jurassic Park 3.
Yes!
Yeah.
It doesn't even acknowledge that Isla Sorna even exists.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. This is definitely the best Jurassic Park sequel so far.
Yes.
I would definitely agree. It was easily one of the top 2 theme park related movies released this year where Judy Greer played a mother and Michael Giacchino did the score.
If Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 didn't exist, I would see this as an excellent sequel. Just like a direct sequel to the first one.
Jurassic Park, the original, is the first movie, live action movie I remember ever seeing, like knowing it's a movie and not just silly lights on a screen.
Right.
So this is like Jurassic Park. I consider the almost perfect movie, and everything I consider essential to Jurassic Park or a Jurassic Park film was in this movie. If I could say anything was lacking, it was, and this is gonna sound weird, the Spielbergness that Jurassic Park had.
you were losing a lot of that charm.
The subplot with the 2 young boys, because Spielberg writes, family problems in the middle of this grand cataclysmic adventure. He writes those family problems within that very well, and he directs it very well, and it's not always visual. And sometimes it felt, particularly with the subplot with the 2 boys, that we were missing kind of a connection that we were supposed to have.
There were plenty of shots of people looking.
Yes.
Well, there are plenty of shots of people looking and plenty of nods to the original film.
Yeah.
Like that was definitely...
no shortage.
and it's not cynically done. This is not a cynical film.
Lovingly
This is a lovingly done film. Michael Crichton didn't really want to write Lost World in the first place. He didn't want to do a sequel. The publishers made him. They basically dangled an enormous check in front of him. Jurassic Park 3 was kind of the same way. This is a movie clearly made by people who are loving every minute that they get to add a new chapter to the Jurassic Park saga. And that enthusiasm wins the day, ultimately. It's not the best written script. There's a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of story stuff that doesn't really make sense. There's a lot of stupid moments. There's a lot of characters acting stupid moments.
But it's not like full of stupid moments.
Yeah, but
there's a good number, but it's not overwhelming.
And for every stupid moment, there's a moment that genuinely works. There were moments when I got genuine chills in this movie, and that rarely happens anymore with CGI. Or it's an absolutely epic moment, and we will talk about that in the spoiler section.
There were also a lot of genuine laughs.
Chris Pratt's character is kind of...
He's badass.
He is Vince Vaughn's character in Lost World done right.
That's what it is.
He is everything that Vince Vaughn in Lost World was supposed to be.
Well, this is how you write an environmentalist character who cares about the dinosaurs without being an idiot.
Just about every character basically fits one of 2 categories. Either they're like, let's make the dinosaurs cooler, or no, the dinosaurs are too dangerous. Jake Johnson's character fills the lines for every scene Chris Pratt's character's not in.
Johnson's, I call Jake Johnson's character Jeff Silverbloom.
Sure.
Because he's not quite Jeff
He's
Goldblum.
not quite gold.
This movie is worth seeing for the climax alone.
Yes.
I do recommend it, if for nothing else than the climax.
I will say.
You will climax during this climax. The film had a lot of stuff that worked, a lot of stuff that didn't, but the stuff that works really fucking works.
The stuff that worked outweighed, at least for initial viewing, it outweighed the stuff that didn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it won't hold up.
Maybe it won't.
I don't know. But
and I don't know how well this movie would play on the small screen.
As a theme park nerd, I was completely satisfied.
Yes, this film is a lot of...
It's a great theme park movie.
As a Jurassic Park fan, I was satisfied.
Yes.
Yeah, this is basically Jaws 3 done right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what
this movie is.
Now, as a critically
it's also a middle
thinking
finger to Jaws 3.
Well, yes, motherfucker eats Jaws.
Exactly. So yeah, we liked this movie.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Let's spoil it.
Okay.
Let's ruin the movie for these fuckers.
Get out.
get out of my home. Take that ugly, fat fucking baby and get out. And she left. And she had this look in her eyes like she understood. It's like she knew that what we had was a special connection.
Battle Royale!
Oh,
yeah! Holy fuck!
A beautifully shot fight. It was like a dance. It was so perfectly.
It didn't matter that it was all CGI.
No.
It truly didn't matter. Holy shit, does motherfucker eat all kinds of jaws.
Oh my god.
Okay.
If you were pissed off at Godzilla last year, this is the perfect Band-Aid
Although, well, it's not this. It's not quite the same thing because this movie's not called T-Rex, but you will until the climax. You might be a little disappointed at just how little screen time the T-Rex gets, but it's worth it.
Every carnivore that is introduced in the first act gets a beautiful
it's Chekhov's Carnosaurs.
They did bring back the Asian genetic.
Dr. Wu.
B.D. Wong. B.D. Wong. The one character who they bring back.
Who really should have gotten the "and" credit in the it should have been "and B.D. Wong."
And he gave probably what I think is the best
the most
scene,
poignant.
the most powerful
Yeah.
non-dinosaur scene in the entire movie. Like
that was a great.
That was almost the flea circus scene.
There's a moment when he reveals that the big bad genetically crossbred dinosaur is part cuttlefish, and it's like, dude, Andy Serkis is scared of cuttlefish, and he was Kong!
They were just so happy to not only be making a Jurassic Park movie, but to have one of the original Jurassic Park characters and actors. They were like, we're gonna make sure he gets a meaty part. We're gonna
Mr. DNA.
Mr.
DNA. Voiced by the director. Did you see that? Colin Trevorrow was like, fuck it, nobody else is doing DNA, I'm doing it.
And Brad Bird was the fucking monorail.
Was the monorail announcer.
I didn't notice that until the credits. Yeah, so it's cross-pollination of theme park
I kind of
movies.
want to go back to Tomorrowland to see if Colin Trevorrow had a cameo anywhere in there. You don't often get to say this with movies, but the product placement was integrated very well for the most part. For the most part.
I mean,
the cars were a little
City
over.
Walk.
Yeah,
It's basically
it's Universal City Walk.
It's City Walk with even more Jurassic iconography.
Exactly.
Oh my god, yeah.
Someone went to a lot of theme parks to research how theme parks are run.
Okay.
The Jimmy Fallon reference.
Fucking Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
This was the perfect theater to see that in
because
everybody else
got the joke. Everybody got the reference.
Probably most of the people in the room were on the studio tour today.
Yep.
They went from Richard Kiley to Jimmy Fallon.
Not exactly an upgrade.
They spared a few expenses.
The teenager at the gyrosphere. When they
in the line?
Yeah,
that was another great.
Another great theme park.
That was a great theme park. Yeah, because that's happened where they shut down rides and they're doing it to save everyone and evacuate people, but everyone online is just pissed. No one's going along with it.
I mentioned people are so desensitized by dinosaurs at this point, and that's what leads to the creation of the I-Rex.
I will say.
Oh god, the I-Rex and it's white.
I don't get it.
The Apple I-Rex.
Oh.
Wow.
I thought they were talking about white privilege.
Go to your room.
I mentioned
that's the outdoors, you dumb.
I live there now.
This movie had a lot of theme park references that really worked, but it had one huge wasted opportunity, and that was. There's a shot, I think it's in the trailer, of like people in canoes rowing past the dinosaurs.
Yeah, that should have been the river adventure.
That should have been the river adventure vehicles going
Nope,
past
it's Davy Crockett's River Explorer.
There's a reason that ride is it's barely a ride, and there's a reason it's only open seasonally. Have you ever actually ridden in one of those things? No one wants to paddle. No one. There's like 3 people doing all the work every fucking time you ride that thing.
Autonomy in a man-eating reptile park.
It's huge.
What's the worst that could happen?
If you thought it was dumb that the motorized Jeeps didn't have locking mechanisms, it's like, okay, wait a minute. So the people in these gyroscopes can just control wherever it goes and just go wherever?
Blew my
It's
mind.
not on a
why
track?
The fuck are you controlling them?
Yeah, why when the ride closed, didn't it automatically direct Why didn't it override that and direct the because then you'd have no movie. Then you'd have no scene.
Part where it was like, okay, we need to get the 2 kids in the path of the I-Rex where people people can't see them. That
that was
But it could have easily been like something uncontrollable, like an Apatosaurus's tail, just.
Well, maybe that knocks it out, of course.
Well, obviously the Hadrosaur knocks them off track, and that's how they go off the waterfall.
Exactly.
The way they find the original building.
Oh my!
There was
the new big building really looked a lot like it was similar in design to the old one, and I thought, they repurposed the old building.
It looked like the Epcot Center version of what was going to be like the Disneyland.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas going into the old building, I think you even said it was like going into Wonders of Life now.
Yeah. They really research theme parks. They know that often unsuccessful things get left to rot.
This thing returned to nature, and that is like a beautiful
It became like a true Arthur Conan Doyle's Lost World in that moment.
There was so much fan service in that moment. I half expected them to stumble across a still turned on computer going, you didn't say the magic word. Please!
And just like a desk that's just piled full of fucking Cheetos.
Well, they kind of had an echo of that in the scene with Jeff Silverblum, where someone complains about his workstation.
He's like the good Nedry.
It satisfied all my nerdiness. I don't know how much it satisfied my critical thinking, actual looking at it from an objective standpoint.
My least favorite scene was probably the one where Bryce Dallas Howard is talking to Judy Greer on the phone, and it's like, Judy Greer's like, oh, you'll understand when you have kids, and Bryce Dallas Howard says if, and Judy Greer insists when.
When. You need kids, woman.
That was like, if you thought Ultron was sexist, it's like, this is...
The park is just under attack from,
the pterosaurs.
Basically
the
just...
pteranodons.
Yeah, basically just...
Pteranodons and dimorphodons.
Fire raining from the sky in dinosaur form.
Dogs and cats living together.
Mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria.
You keep alternating between shots of basically people being clutched and let go and falling to their death, and also main characters just standing upright, looking around, kind of being ignored.
How are they not targets?
There's people running over to hug each other and taking their time with conversations.
Get the fuck indoors! The kids asked Bryce Dallas Howard, like, who's he? And he's standing there, and I swear to God, if he had said, I'm Burt Macklin, I would not have batted an eye.
I would have stood up and clapped. So there was that moment in that scene where after, bickering the whole time, that's the moment where Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard suddenly kiss.
I interpreted it as the I'm glad to be alive kiss.
Yes, and it is kind of played for laughs.
It kind of works.
If you have a problem with that moment, they have the perfect counterbalance later. Every time it cuts back to Jake Johnson and Lauren Lapkus, I'm thinking, okay, you guys are like big comedy actors. You're known for improv. You're known for comedy.
They were kind of wasted.
You're kind of wasted in this role. But then when that joke where he goes to kiss her happened, I was like, and that's why they cast the comedy geniuses. It's a little out of focus, but he has Ian Malcolm's book, and apparently he has Wash's dinosaur toys from Firefly on his desk.
We shall call this land... This land. I think we should call it your death.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Which is really the tagline for every Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah.
Particularly with the raptors.
Yes.
Let's talk about our baby raptors.
Okay, the raptors.
Let's talk.
This is all I wanted from this movie. I wanted security raptors and Raptor Old Yeller, and just this is what I wanted, and I got it.
You're goddamn right. And I never understood. I guess I kind of understand it because it's just two different points of view. But from the moment I saw fucking Chris Pratt with the motorcycle and all the raptors around, I thought that image looked fucking awesome. I thought it was badass. It's like it's like, and people complained about that. It's like, dude, do you not recognize awesome when it's right in front of you?
Part of the big theme of every Jurassic Park movie is you cannot control nature. The thematic line that started in the first.
You never had control, and that's the illusion.
And Chris Pratt realizes that.
Nature.
Yes.
Chris Pratt says, it's not about control, it's about mutual respect. I thought they'd never fucking kill Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh my God.
That was the biggest. That was probably the biggest problem with the movie is that he is so over the top cartoonishly George C. Scott and Dr. Strangelove type, big bad military guy who wants to weaponize dinosaurs.
And use these raptors,
and you're just waiting for him to die. You know they're gonna kill him, and you're just waiting
for it.
To the point where when the raptor finally does kill him, it's kind of a disappointment that it's not a more epic kill.
That all of them are just pouncing on him. It's just one.
Yeah.
Although there was blood.
There was blood.
There was blood, which was nice for a PG-13 movie.
There were a lot of really good kills, especially on the raptor side, too. Like being just chucked into the Benihanas.
The fan service moment I was expecting but didn't happen was after all the dinosaurs looking around and then Chris Pratt's looking at the raptor. I expected him to just say, "Clever girl."
It would have been great, but that would have been a little too. That would have been a little much. But when the raptors actually come to kind of save them from the big mean, what was it even called? The Indominus Rex. That's only slightly less silly than Unobtainium. This is kind of a nice reverse on the first movie where the T-Rex came to save them from the raptors.
Right.
But then the raptors couldn't do it, so the T-Rex himself actually had to come in. Then
open paddock 9.
Good God,
that was such a great moment.
And then the Yes.
I don't buy that Bryce Dallas Howard would be able to outrun the T-Rex in heels.
I don't buy in real life that Laura Dern could outrun raptors with a walkie-talkie around.
Okay, sure. Fair enough. The T-Rex takes on the I-Rex and fucking wins! As God intended! The motherfucking T-Rex does not lose!
And for a minute, it looks like he might lose. Or she.
Well, it's the Rocky moment. It's like he's been beat. Well, only after being beaten.
And then
really
the raptor comes in to save the T-Rex.
Yes!
The T-Rex and the raptor have the I-Rex cornered up against the Mosasaurus pin.
And that T-Rex still gets up, which I really respect. After
that I-Rex takes a fucking beating.
And by the time it's done so many asshole-ish things, you want it to die. I was just screaming, Finisher!
And after motherfucker eats Jaws, the raptor and the T-Rex share a moment.
Yeah!
And it's kind of like...
so awesome!
It's cute!
Hey, I know in the first movie...
My ancestors and your ancestors.
I know we did not get along, but...
so how about those Mets? How about,
I
so
know
we good, okay.
I know in the past we didn't get along, but
it was like...
God damn it, I respect you.
It was Marcellus Wallace and Butch at the end. It's like, you lost your Isla Nublar privileges. The one scene that genuinely gave me the chills was when, it was after the motorcycle scene that's in all the trailers, and they've led... The raptors have led the people to the I-Rex. The raptors start communicating with the I-Rex.
Because the I-Rex is part raptor.
Exactly.
Those sons of bitches.
And then the I-Rex says something to the raptors, and the raptors turn on the humans.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, there is no control.
The I-Rex has some literature I'd like the raptors to read.
Yes. Life.
Finds a way. I still beat you to it.
I don't care.
Your Goldblum stammer has defeated you yet again. So...
Hey, my cousin died of Goldblum stammer. My expectations weren't super high, but it exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
And it was everything I wanted it to be. Everything I thought it had a chance of being.
Yes.
And,
including kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
Kind of
But no gymnastics stupid.
Yes.
But yeah, go see this movie. It is a great... I mean, like I said, if you didn't really find the whole fights in Godzilla... The whole leading up to satisfying.
This is incredibly satisfying.
This is the giant monster movie of the year that you need to see.
Oh yes. If you're near a Universal resort, see it at City Walk.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everybody in the theater loved the Jimmy Fallon bit. Everyone at the theater basically loved everything. This was the perfect crowd to see this movie in.
The crowd even loved the fucking toy.
Yeah.
You got comments about...
Oh yeah.
I got a picture with this damn thing.
So, in conclusion... Have a gyro-tastic day. Have a gyro-tastic night. Watch your step as you get eaten alive, and everything will be alright. Just motherfucker!
I wear a Eurolax or use a Rolodex or put on turtlenecks because I got no pecs. But I will 12 parsecs as fast as a reflex. I'll tear you up like you're a fucking Kleenex. Just I'm a motherfucking T-Rex. I'm a motherfucking T-Rex. I'm a motherfucking T-Rex. I'm a motherfucking T-Rex. Oh, God!
That's what you get for making terrible jokes and throwing me everywhere.
Damn you, Roger Corman!
Now it's our show, Charlie.
Woo! Wait.
Two park reviewers.
Two park reviewers.
I'm right here.
Easy. Easy.
Right.
Click, click, click.
I'm submissive for some reason.
Click, click.
I'll have to get back to you later about Jurassic Park 4. Boom.